trainer. He may not have told me, but I'm seeing what they're working on. Notice how they're moving angles. They're not in front of each other anymore. He's boxing backwards, getting on an angle. See that little footwork that he's doing there? These are all things that Ryan has never done. He's always been in front of you, just looking for the jab. And
no, coach, like respectfully, it do look like a duck. It looks like a duck because they saying how does your value go up after not fighting?
So you've heard a lot of people talk about it. You've heard ShowBizz, he go on there and talk about it. You've heard Floyd, you've heard everyone talk about the bone and arrow, right? So from here, right? If you try to go out too much, you're trying to bite off too much, you're here for the left hook.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Please believe me. Please believe me. All right. So we got a few things to talk about. A few of you guys DM'd me and wanted me to talk about Shakur Stevenson apologizing on X for the things that he said to His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh on how he was lowballed and now he's apologizing, stuff like that. And what do I think? Listen, I wasn't a part of the conversations. I have no insight on all this, but from outside looking in, here's what I would guess. I mean, I'm happy he was big enough to apologize, number one, but I think it was a chess move. I think it's chess, not checkers.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
And the chess move was performed by His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh. Let me tell you something what Turki knows that these fighters are going to have to get accustomed to. Boxing over boxer. It is what it is. And let me tell you what I mean by all this. Shakur Stevenson was like, yo, you sent your goons or whatever he said, or the middleman or whatever to talk to me, and hey, what's up, golden boy, or I'm gonna let this go to purse bid. And when he crashed out on his socials on all of that, immediately, what did you see from His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh? Abdullah Mason signed. Keyshawn Davis signed. Shushu Carrington signed. Keyshawn Davis, it looks like he's going to fight De Los Santos. Abdullah Mason, I think his next fight is not, what was that guy? The guy, the African guy that Shakur Stevenson fought and kind of gave Shakur a hard time. Abdullah Mason looked like he's going to fight him. They just sent an offer to Floyd Schofield III, a fight that Shakur Stevenson is supposed to have had on the fight card of the century. And Floyd Schofield Jr., his father, who I call Floyd Schofield Sr. because that's just a lot, but he goes out there and he let it be known that there's an offer out for Abdullah Mason versus Floyd Schofield.
Money on the wood, it all go good. Yesterday price ain't today's price, baby. Let's get this money, baby.
Do you see how easily Shakur Stevenson could be replaced? Boxing over boxer.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
So yes, I know Shakur values himself as he should, but I think the apology, and it's just a coincidence to me that it follows these moves from His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh. Now, let's talk about, since we're talking about Floyd Schofield, the perfect segue. He was on The Boxing Voice, and Two-Tone, the superstar, love you, boy, he got busy.
But I'm saying, like, if they not giving Rockstar Shakur Stevenson his bread to run that squabble with Zepeda, how do you think they're going to give y'all $2.5 million to run the squabble with Abdullah Mason? And respectfully, both of y'all fan bases aren't there yet. I'm saying y'all niggas is still building, respectfully. Like, how does that make sense?
He was just throwing a number.
No. The thing is,
and it just, it's just that. Let me tell you what I noticed. What I noticed is Floyd Schofield Jr., which I like to call Floyd Schofield Sr., but he's Jr. Floyd Schofield, the father. Daddy Schofield, Father Floyd. He spoke over Floyd Schofield III.
Like, how does that make sense?
He was just throwing a number.
No. The thing is,
And if you pay attention to what Floyd the fighter was about to say and how Floyd the father cut him off.
Like, how does that make sense?
He was just throwing a number.
No. The thing is,
That was very revealing. And then Floyd the fighter said this.
that's kind of crazy. That ain't how business goes. So they offer 7 figures. If that is true, we're going to sit there and we're going to be rocking.
The bad part, me and my dad was talking, we'll take the 1 million.
Right. Like, yo, that's 7 figures for this fight.
Very revealing. What's revealing is Floyd the father wanted to start negotiations high. All right. And a lot of you guys in the comments was like, that's just unbelievable. He's pricing himself out. Probably. But he knows that His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh, he got the type of bag where he can rent out Times Square and have no ticket sales and pay superstars like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. So he's like, well, maybe I can start the negotiations out at a big number. But Floyd the fighter exposed the fact that they'd take $1 million, which is more than half less. So Floyd the father asked for 2.5 more times than the amount that they're willing to take. A $1.5 million difference, right? Because Floyd the father asked for 2.5 mil and Floyd the fighter said, I'll take 1 million. Very revealing. Okay, so yeah, people are calling it a duck, but I didn't. Like I said, I was calling Cap, really. He was Leonardo DiCaprio, all right? He was a Fenty cappuccino, Floyd the father was. And, I just saw that as he's starting at a high price point, and just like any negotiations, maybe could come down and maybe instead of $1 million, in which Floyd the fighter said that he's willing to take, maybe it could be at 1.2. All right. Now, Bill Haney was with Cigar Talk. Love you, boy. Like I said, I think Cigar Talk is a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, when it comes to this boxing shit. I love the interviews that he puts on. Okay. I'm a big fan of his. And Bill Haney brought up ShowBizz in saying this.
A lot of people talk about it. You've heard ShowBizz, he go on there and talk about it. You've heard Floyd, you've heard everyone talk about the bow and arrow, right? So from here, right? If you try to go out too much, you're trying to bite off too much, you're here for the left hook.
Yeah.
So instead of biting him here, he lunged here, and misjudged the hook for being longer than it traditionally comes. Comes from.
Yeah.
Y'all ask me what I think about it. I think good. All right, we got our point across. The bow and arrow effect. I repeated it 1 million times. Devin, the American Dream Haney fanboys, cry. Y'all go ahead and cry y'all tears. But like I said, I was always for the Haneys. Always for the Haneys. And I wanted them to stop that, to give us a better rematch, a better Haney in a fight. Fix your flaws. And that was and I even sung about that flaw. Like, I'm singing about it to get it out there. And Bill Haney, he heard it time and time again, obviously. And he got Sugar Shane Mosley with him. He got Nate Jones with him. So, and then Big Bear. So, and that's on their heads, right? So they're working on not, doing the bow and arrow effect, which he didn't say too much. Like, he was talking about how he overreached, but Devin Haney actually does this, right? His guard ain't even close. He does this. But still, at least it's on their dome. And hopefully it's on his mind to not do that. And we'll see an improvement. So while Devin Haney, you fanboys are crying over me suggesting an improvement of Devin Haney, which is his main trainer, Bill Haney, everybody would know that that's not a good habit, especially against people with great left hooks. He heard that. He didn't hate on it. He received it, and they were probably going to work on it anyway. I'm not sure, but they're definitely working on it. So good. All right. Devin Haney fanboys aren't for you, Devin Haney. I've been saying this forever. They are not for you. All right. Boxing fans are for you. All right. And now we can get a better fight against Jose Ramirez, who has a great left hook. And hopefully we'll get a far better fight win, lose, or draw against Ryan Garcia if you guys have the rematch.
He may not have told me, but I'm seeing what they're working on. Notice how they're moving angles. They're not in front of each other anymore. He's boxing backwards, getting on an angle. See that little footwork that he's doing there? These are all things that Ryan has never done. He's always been in front of you, just looking for the jab.
And now that I just finished watching the Ryan Garcia media workout, a lot of you guys saw me on the live. Tim Butler was there, 50-50, Sexy Kendra. A lot of you from the War Room. Y'all saw me on the live stream on DAZN War Room. How do I feel about it? I've never been more impressed by Ryan Garcia for many reasons. You guys saw the clip, but there was a lot more to see. We're going to cover like the whole workout on the Facts Friday tomorrow. But I've never felt more impressed looking at Ryan Garcia, and this is why. Number one, Derek James. Derek James literally was like, I'm going to teach you what I'm going to teach you, right? Teach you the things that's going to make you successful. And I just like the angles, the footwork of the great foundation, keeping the right hand up, the touching with the right, the angles in which he was throwing them. I like how he was jabbing to the body of the heavy bag, going upstairs, mixing up his attacks, not just poking and waiting to counter with the left hook. His left hook is extremely good. But another thing, the condition Ryan Garcia was in. 147 is his right weight class. It is what it is. That's the most healthy I've ever seen him. Okay, so he looked like he's growing into that. He may be out of welterweight pretty fast. He's going to be at 154 pretty quickly, it seems, looking at him. He looked healthy, and I'm very impressed by Derek James. I think, and what Derek James was trying not to say. He was showing things, but he wasn't saying much on purpose. He's keeping a lot to the hip, and I'm very impressed by that. Derek James doesn't raise his voice, so that means Ryan has to listen to just hear his commands. With that said, though, I was impressed by Ryan Garcia, his mentality. Ryan Garcia is focused, and he's willing to listen. And I think that was probably always Ryan Garcia. He just went through a very difficult time outside of the ring leading up to Devin, the American Dream. He crashed out, dude. He had crazy mental health issues going on. And just things with his mother's sickness on top of that, with the divorce from his wife and kid's mother. So there were things going on, and he crashed the hell out. Now it seems like he's in a more stable spot mentally, and he's able to hear Derek James. So I like their relationship, and I think they should stay. From what I've seen so far and what I know about Derek James, right? I love that brother. Love you, boy. I think Derek James is one hell of a coach, and he deserved to be Coach of the Year when he was. And I think those two, that can be a very strong team. And I think they probably should stick together. But, I don't have that insight into what's going on. But I want to say this, too, when it comes to Derek James. I can't recall Derek James actually having a student who is dialed in inside and outside of the ring with him. Jamel Charlo, he has one of those, personalities, where wild boy personality. And he's definitely dedicated in the ring. He became undisputed in the 4-belt era at 154. So, but I'm just saying, to be able to sustain that, outside, inside the ring, he just hasn't demonstrated that. Errol Spence as well. Of course, the car accident was horrific, but you heard about his bad habits outside of the ring, not showing a great focus. He said himself that drinking didn't help him at all. It really hurt him, and he regrets it. Ryan Garcia, the first Ryan Garcia, the Ryan Garcia DJ had until now, he also wasn't focused. So to get a focused Ryan Garcia, hopefully a Ryan Garcia who is focused on greatness, who's going to stop the bad habits, who's going to say I have an opportunity to become an all-time great fighter and a legend, which all of these young fighters have the opportunity to maximize it. That starts with having humility, being humble, and listening to a coach that you have hired and who you should have faith in, and believe in. So to see Ryan Garcia focus, hopefully he stays that way, and that gives opportunity to Derek James for him to glow up, to have somebody who's definitely focused on building that relationship and having that focus outside the ring. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. ShowBizz adult, I'm out.